What's up, Lex? How you doing?
Very good, very good. It's summertime. So what are we doing now?
Baking.
Baking. I know, right?
Yeah. So you're in the middle of moving, and I guess we should say that's why the episode's been a little delayed.
Oh yes, big time. And having 2 kids and a husband, going back to Six Flags again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually not Six Flags. What is it?
Wait,
SeaWorld. SeaWorld.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting and very hot.
Very hot.
It's not funny. I mean, I don't know how you guys do it because 5 minutes you're like, I'm gonna die.
You don't feel bad about all the caged up animals?
I know, right? Well, it's the last year that we're gonna have the big whale here in San Antonio.
Oh really? The Shamu?
The Shamu, yeah.
Oh, they're moving her.
Yep. So
Back
no
to the
more.
ocean?
Well, who knows? Well, I don't know if they're going back to the ocean, but they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Some type of animal protection. So this is the last year. My first time also getting that season pass.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's
Yeah.
kind of pricey though.
I know, yeah.
$150.
They're getting crazy with the season passes.
It is. I mean,
We were thinking about doing Six Flags, and I think that one went up again this year.
oh, it
I'm like,
did.
yeah.
And I was waiting for you to give me some family and
I
friend
know, right?
discount.
The free passes. Yeah, they help. They help.
Yeah.
So anyways, today we're going to be talking to Ricardo Chavira.
I know, how exciting is that, right?
Yeah, you know, how come when I say that to a lady, they always get excited?
And you're like, oh yes, how excited. He's so cute. I love his accent. I mean, he's just Latino man.
Yeah, oh yeah. He puts an extra pronunciation on Latino.
Yes.
every time he says
I
it.
noticed that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I know. So happy to hear more about him.
So I guess you used to watch Desperate Housewives?
Yes, I did. I mean, I love his role, with Eva Longoria.
Yeah.
So that was so funny. I mean, I used to laugh.
He did a program, Welcome to the Family, for a little while.
I know, I heard that too.
You should check that one out. That was pretty funny. As a matter of fact, I believe it's on iTunes, so anybody wants to check that one out, they really should. It was only like a 1-season thing. I think it got canceled after 3 episodes aired. But first episode, you said you wanted to be an actress.
Oh, that's right, I did. Well, I wanted to be everything. I mean, at 11, 12.
I guess we all kind of do, right?
I mean, there's an actor in every person, I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah, think about it.
Maybe not every person.
Yeah.
So was there anything in particular when you were a kid? It was on TV. I know you were in Ecuador.
Yeah,
so
but that time I was in Ecuador, so there were more like opera, like novelas that you watch every day, same time.
Yeah.
Like you have to, if you miss it was a problem, so you needed to be there at 5
Oh
p.m.
yeah, because
or
you missed
7.
part of the story.
Exactly, right?
And of course, back then we didn't just.
No DVR.
There wasn't no Netflix, so
No DVR either.
no binging.
Nope. So so that was kind of like something that I wanted to do when I was 11, 12.
Yeah.
And then when I came to the United States, so the language was a barrier kind of, because I was not comfortable enough to, pursue my dreams.
Right.
But it was that. It was just like a dream, not just something like I wanted to do it for real,
Yeah, I think we all go through that. We want to be this and that. Was there any like actors or actresses that you kind of like looked up to or anything at the time? Or
No, just a Spanish opera.
Yeah, it just looked like something cool to do.
Yeah.
Better.
Like the bad person or the evil.
Yeah, being able to jump into a different role and be
Right.
somebody completely different.
Yeah.
Well, you ever role play with your husband?
No.
I'm just kidding.
When I say that there is an actress in every person, I really mean it.
You do?
Yeah. Did you notice that before?
I don't know, because I see a lot of shows and I'm like, these people cannot act.
Yeah, what I meant to say, like in your family, your friends.
Yeah, well, that's
Right.
true. As a matter of fact, when I was young, I remember me and my cousin Josh in particular, we kept acting like we were in Top Gun, because our uncle Ricky actually flew some of the jets in Top Gun. He's a Top Gun pilot in real life, and I think he flew the Russian MiGs in the Top Gun movie, and for us that was like super cool.
Right.
Uncle Ricky's in a movie. So we were at home and we'd be like singing the song. We record ourselves singing the theme song, and we'd act out some of the scenes and stuff. And yeah, I've always had that in me, that I wanted to just be able to jump into a different role, pretend to be somebody else for a little while. It's kind of cool, you know.
Sometimes I play with my husband that we are first couple thing. Like I don't know you, and you don't know me, and we play like who's this? And I said, well, this is your lover, and he's like, who, what? So kind of like keep it like.
So you do this in public?
No, not in public.
Oh, okay.
Just on the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes you don't have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
You know,
just goofing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you can do that at home, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm
dress up like a maid or something.
Hey.
You can dress up.
No, that's too much. Okay. Anyways.
My wife is infatuated with Tarzan right now. Maybe I should put on a piece of grass or something. Swing into the bedroom. What do you think?
Okay, that would be a good one. See,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
telling you, there is an actress in everybody.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it seems like fun anyway.
Yeah, don't you wonder that's why they develop these characters? You know, because there is a personality, there is somebody, you know, like to actually act like. I think I don't know. Yeah, what do you think actors do? I mean, they create this role about.
I think maybe they just never grow up, because kids love to act. I mean, it seems like. You know, you always see your I'm sure you've seen Matthias, your son playing, you know, playing a role, getting into character. I mean, I remember me as a kid, I couldn't see a movie or cartoon or something without, as soon as the cartoon ended, I was a Transformer. You know,
that's right.
Yeah,
you start back to Power Rangers.
Yeah,
that's
Power
right.
Rangers. There you go. You start transforming. You pretend you're a truck for a little bit, and then you turn into the robot. You know, I mean, kids do that.
Yeah, you bring me back to memories. That's right. I wanted to be a Power Ranger.
Oh, you wanted to be a Power? I thought you were talking about your boy.
No, hey, you're not that old. I mean, he's now watching Power Rangers. Back in my days, you know. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
so you're into that action combat. You want to kick ass.
Superhero. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So overall, hardworking. If you really want to just go for it.
But that's anything.
Right.
You know, really. I
Do
mean,
you think at my age I can go back? And
for
be
sure.
An actress?
You can be an actress.
Really? Okay.
yeah.
Like rapping, the same thing like I was doing the other day. I was
Good luck.
the rap. Yep. I don't know. Maybe.
Good luck with that
I'm
one.
trying to find my career here. Hey.
You can do something. Man, I know.
What?
Start a podcast.
We're doing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm so late already.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
but it's gonna get better.
yes.
So.
We got to get maybe down to a weekly format. Easier to say than to do.
True.
Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna have more time, I guess.
Yeah.
It's gonna get better. What's up with reality shows? I was just thinking about it.
Oh, reality shows.
Right. That's
See, there you go. There. You know what I think reality shows are? That was networks saying, we gotta find a way to make this a lot cheaper. How about instead of paying Seinfeld X number of dollars and George X number of dollars and Kramer and, you know, instead of paying all these people, we could just pay the one that wins. You know?
Right.
And then what? It's like $10,000. Stay naked in the woods for 14 days or whatever, and try to survive off squirrel meat and shit. Then we'll give you 10 grand.
You only see them once, but I meant to say those reality shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Jersey Shore.
Oh, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I always keep up with the Kardashians. Yeah, the Kardashians. They would. I think they fought with the Klingons a little bit.
Shut up. Anyway, so that's what I meant to say. You know, there are people that start with something like reality shows, or like my crush that I had back 15, 20 years ago. You know The Rock, the wrestler from WWF. You know?
Oh yeah, The Rock.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love him. He was so cute when he was doing the WWF. And see, he started like I think he did start like a wrestler, right? And then
He was a wrestler first, and then went into acting, and I think he's actually turned out to be a pretty decent actor. That's not one of those that really sucks, I guess.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, he's had a couple crappy roles, maybe. Like
Yeah, true.
the Dune movie, that didn't go too
No, it
good.
didn't
you
go
know? They pretty much ruined the video game and the movie at the same time.
So who was your crush? I mean, what actress?
My first TV actress crush. would have to be Counselor Troy on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Really?
Yep.
You like brunettes?
Brunettes. Yeah.
So that's the one. Okay.
She
kind of looks like
Spanish
Abby.
girl too. Yeah, she does kind of look like yeah. Now that you see, my first crush was my wife. You see?
Yeah, right.
As a kid, I just knew in the future I would have a Spanish woman. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So, hold up, you knew who she was?
No, I actually have to Google it because I wasn't born.
No, you weren't born. Shut up. That's funny.
Yeah, no, but you're right. I mean, there are people that have to stick with their own.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just because you're a good rapper doesn't mean you're gonna be a good actor, and by golly, just because you're a good sports player doesn't mean you're gonna be a good rapper. Shaq. But then, you know, you do have people that are phenomenal talents and just can do it all. I mean, Michael Jordan was crazy at basketball and he could kind of play some baseball. And
Okay.
Bo Jackson. Remember Bo Jackson back in the day? Nah,
No.
weren't born then either, were you? These kids, get off my lawn.
Let's talk about Jersey Shore. Those are my shows.
Jersey Shore. Come on. I wouldn't have a clue where to start. So, I was watching like Knight Rider.
A lot of the positive feedback that we receive about the show is centered around the music that you hear in the background during the podcast. That music comes from the genius mind of Ruler Y. You can find his music on Bandcamp and iTunes. He's an incredible beat producer and also one hell of an engineer. If you think that you could use his services, contact him at rulery@gmail.com. Spread the love, people.
Don't you need me just a little? 'Cause honest to God, you were the only.
Basically, though, yeah, I knew about the Desperate Housewives thing. It wasn't a show that I watched or anything.
It's not a show I watched either.
No. But
No, I think we did like 185 or 188 episodes, and of 185 or 188 episodes, I was in every one of them but like 6.
wow.
And of all those episodes, I probably watched in their entirety 20 episodes.
Really?
I watched mostly the beginning,
Yeah.
so I didn't watch a lot of like the later seasons.
No. Okay.
I would rely on my wife to watch it. And I mean, she watched it. She was a fan, but I think she was definitely a fan because, it was her husband's show. And,
Right.
but the other thing is, like the show would air on Sunday night. And so I'd usually talk to her afterwards. If I was home, I'd sit in another room and I'd, kind of listen sometimes.
Yeah.
But because I'm very, very hypercritical about watching myself on camera.
Yeah.
Some actors are very like that. Some actors aren't. I'm one of the ones that falls into I am very critical of myself.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, actually.
It just, the camera does something to an actor. When I'm perceiving when I see myself on television, I see as though the camera is doing something like distorting my face or changing my face, or the camera adds weight, so you're like, oh my God, I look too fat, and so and some actors are okay with that. Some actors can deal with that. Some actors can't.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons, whether it's weight related or whatever, I just have a hard time with it, and then I'll get hypercritical about if I see certain facial expressions or tics or things like that I'm doing, or reactions that I give to material that's being said from another actor, and I don't like it, then I become hypercritical about performance.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what I would do is I would sit there with my wife, and I'd be like, I'd hold my thumbs up, and she'd, kind of give the shaky hand,
No.
So, or if I was in LA, working, I'd call her, or she'd call me, and she'd be like, I just saw the show, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, they don't really buy it.
Really?
Oh yeah,
wow.
she's tough, and that's about all she'd say.
Yeah.
She wouldn't say what or anything, and I'd be like,
Right.
or she'd call me and she'd be like, it's a really good job.
Well, how did she feel about Welcome to the Family? Because if anything, it seems to me that character, Miguel, is a lot more like Ricardo. Is it?
Welcome to the Family and Miguel was very much a lot more like me.
Yeah.
And the process for that was, I had just gotten done with Housewives. I think Housewives had just ended. This was the first real pilot season after Housewives that I was available to be able to go out and audition for other stuff. I didn't really know what I wanted. Housewives wasn't something that I wanted.
Yeah.
For me, it was, I was 3 years out of graduate school. I had student loans. Like, I was just like, just give me a job.
Right.
I need a bone.
Hungry at that point, yeah.
And so I get this job, and I had no idea that it was going to become the kind of show that it was. The other thing is I trained in theater. So stage was where I was comfortable. I had no idea what the hell I was doing in front of camera.
Right.
I mean, literally, Housewives was my training ground for working in front of camera. I mean, I didn't know half of the terminology they were using on set until probably season 4.
Really?
I'm dead serious.
It was a hugely successful show.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Season 1, I mean, we got 30 million viewers, and here you got this guy that doesn't know shit from Shinola about working in front of camera. My camera guys figured that out real quick, so they were pulling me aside going, okay, this means this, and this means this, and this means this. So, but when Welcome to the Family, when I was available for that pilot season, I had no idea. I didn't know what I wanted. Yeah. And so I was just taking any script and going in for anything, for any audition. And Welcome to the Family popped up, and everybody was saying that I should do comedy, that I should get into a sitcom. So I was like, all right. And I went in for it. I remember I taped myself here in San Antonio, sent the tape in. And then I was in LA the next week, and they wanted to meet me. So they met with me. And if I had heard, the acting circles, specifically like Latino acting circles, get really small, and we all know each other.
Yeah.
So, we'll be like, hey, man, you got to go in for this. Hey, man, you got to go in for this. Oh, no, I already went in for that, man. They were looking at a young group. Now they're looking at an older group. Yeah. And which was the case with Family. They had looked at a younger group of actors, and I knew 2 of the guys. They said they'd already gone in. They're like, I don't know what they're doing with that project. And everybody was like, but you're perfect for it. You're perfect for it. So this was something that I had heard when I was auditioning for Housewives, that same kind of, you're perfect for it, you're perfect for it.
Yeah.
And so I went in and I saw the director and the writer-creator. They liked me, but I could tell there was some uncertainty with them. Uh-huh. And they contacted my people, and my people went and basically called me and said, they're not sure, they're still looking. I mean, and from what I understand after the fact, they brought in Luis Guzman and tried to work with him on the material privately, and it didn't work out. They brought in Benjamin Bratt and tried to work with him privately on the material, and it didn't work out for the role of Miguel. And then when I went in, and when they finally got a hold of me, when they said, we want him to test, they brought me in to test. You do a network test in front of the network, and they usually bring in several actors. Their top 3, 4, 5 choices.
Right.
Okay. It was myself, this stand-up comedian from New York who looked about 7 or 8 years older than me, Puerto Rican. Another actor, Amaury Nolasco, who was on Prison Break, who I'm very good friends with. Yeah. And a great guy. And then they also brought in Carlos Mencia. I ended up getting the part.
Awesome.
And when I talked with Mike O'Malley afterwards, he was just like, out of everybody we auditioned, you were by far the best.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. So it's like, oh, this is great. And then the calamity of the situation is that here you've got this writer, creator, and group of people that have come up with this really great concept, and especially with the Latin market being what it is now and how big it is. I mean, the Latino market is the largest market of consumers out there.
It's the thing to be right now.
Exactly.
It's almost like Black in the 90s.
Exactly. but no shit. But nobody knows how to market to us.
Right.
Nobody knows how to market to us. And they failed with this concept.
Yeah.
They failed and they didn't really know how to write for it.
I'll tell you what. I was pleasantly surprised.
I was too. I was too. But they could have written more for the Latino family, and they also should have gone and marketed this project in East LA and in San Antonio and in the Southwest.
Absolutely.
with bilingual marketing. You know, bilingual billboards.
I was gonna say the only shortcoming I think there was the complete absence of marketing. Because I didn't know the show had even ever existed until I was studying for this interview. I come across it and I'm like, okay, this is his most recent work. I've got to watch this. Canceled after 3 episodes. What the fuck are they thinking there? I got in. It was probably about the 4th episode where I really started to get into it. And it seemed like everybody's really starting to get into character and everything's melting and then that's it.
A lot of people said that. There were problems. You know, we had a director who was also an exec producer. We had an exec from the studio, and then we had our writer-creator who was also an exec, and then we had our primary actor, Mike O'Malley, who was also a producer on it.
Yeah.
And that's basically a four-headed hydra. Everybody's got conflicting ideas.
Yeah.
The cooking's not going along well. You know, Housewives, I had a lot of problems and a lot of issues with the writing and with the politicking that existed on that set and, in that production office and the production as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't always see eye to eye with Mark Cherry. Now, Mark knows that.
Yeah.
And I know it, and I have no problem admitting it. But the one thing that I really valued in Mark and that I totally respected about him was that he knew exactly what the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
He had a very clear idea about what his writing was, who his characters were, and how scenes were to be played out. You know? And if you didn't like it, tough shit.
Yeah, but this is
he'd come in and act the scene out for you and expect you to do it. No, seriously.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was a little bit insulting, but the man still got what he wanted.
Right.
It's funny because, you know, I remember getting so frustrated with that man sometimes and so frustrated with that show. And then I get onto a show like Welcome to the Family where nobody really knows what they want. And they're kind of giving you, in a certain atmosphere, that's an actor's wet dream.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. But if you do whatever the fuck you want 17 times and nobody likes it, that's a long fucking day.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And the thing is I think ultimately they didn't necessarily know what they wanted. Personally, I think that they probably got the wrong actor for the part. I don't think so. Thank you. I think I did a good job, but I think what they wanted was a guy that was very, very street oriented.
Yeah.
Okay, like a street thug type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem that you run into with Latino actors or minority actors as a whole is you can find that guy.
Yeah.
That's got that really street ethnic thing going on. You know.
Yeah.
Black or Asian or Hispanic or whatever. Okay. But then maybe his educational background is such that it's a little difficult sometimes to communicate with him.
Yeah.
Okay. About what it is that you're trying to get out of him and to convey through your project. Or maybe he's not that strong of an actor. Or maybe that he doesn't have strong comedic chops. But in other words, you're not getting you're gonna get one thing, but you're not gonna get all 3 or 4. You might get 2 things, but you're not gonna get strength across the board in all the areas that you're looking for.
You get a piece of the puzzle, but not the whole picture.
Exactly. And for me, one of the things I know that I deliver is I'm Latino.
Yeah.
I'm a solid, strong actor. I've got great comedic timing. And it's hard to come by.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, I know it, and a lot of people in my industry know it. It's like the number shrivels.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about guys my age, Latino, that have all those qualities,
right.
I mean, you're literally talking about 4 people.
Well, and you may not be the street thug today, but you've had your troubled past.
Oh yeah.
And let's talk about that. You're 43 now.
Yeah.
Your mom was 43 when she passed.
She was, yeah.
She passed of ovarian cancer,
breast and ovarian
cancer.
Yeah.
Now, that affected you big time.
Oh yeah.
This was, I mean, you're self-described as a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And this sets you off on the wrong path.
You're from here, from San Antonio.
I'm from San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, originally I'm from Florida.
Okay, but you've been over here for some time.
Yeah, I've been in San Antonio for quite some time.
Okay, I was a good Catholic boy. I was a mama's boy. You know? And my parents divorced when I was in second grade, and I sided with my mom, and I went and my dad and I have a great relationship now, but I was sided with my mom. I wanted to stay with my mom. There was no way I was going to go live with my dad.
Yeah.
I don't think the courts would let me anyway. And both my parents were very educated, but they were educated in liberal arts type degrees. My mother had 3 master's degrees, public health, anthropology, and theology. Wow. She was primarily trying to do work in the public health sector. Well, when she got out with that public health degree, Reagan got voted into office. Reagan cut all the health expenditures and threw them out the fucking window.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times my mom would apply for jobs and they would say that she was overqualified. Essentially what I'm trying to say is my mom had a hard time getting a job.
Right.
And being a single mother with 3 kids, there were several times that we went on public support.
Yeah.
Okay? To make ends meet. And then when she gets diagnosed with breast cancer and ovarian cancer, she's throwing up every other weekend on the couch, from taking chemotherapy treatments, and I'm a little boy jumping on my bicycle with an empty backpack and $25 to bike up to Kroger to buy X, Y, and Z so that my sisters and I can eat through the weekend until my mom feels better so that she can start cooking.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and it's no sob story. It's just, it is what it is, and, but then my mother was taken from me.
At 15.
At 15. So, and I'm 15 years old. I don't know shit about the world.
Right.
I just know that this guy that I've been saying prayers to and going to Catholic school to learn about, and I've been an altar boy, and I've even been thinking about maybe even going to seminary school, has just turned his back on me. So I was like, well, God said, fuck you to me, I'm going to say fuck you right back, And so it started, pretty much right after that. I started diving into all kinds of stuff, getting into trouble, staying out late, started drinking at an early age, started doing drugs, got into gangs. I mean, San Antonio, you've got, the Klan that was a big gang, and in the 80s and the 90s, I was running around with some of those guys.
Tell me about it. I was in high school, mid 90s.
Yeah.
Blood for several years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still managed to keep a very clean profile.
Yeah.
And I still managed to, A honor roll.
Sweet.
And everything. So it's like I lived this very kind of Jekyll and Hyde life.
Right.
And that played out for, God, well into my 30s.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's having children has softened me.
Yeah. It changes everything, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does.
And when I look at my little girl and I see her, and there's certain times when I see her do things, or I hear her say things, or I see her little face, and I see a glimmer of my mother in there, that makes me, it softens everything.
Yeah.
But I battled, I was thrown in and out of jail. I was thrown in jail like 9 times,
Yeah.
I think I did 35 days in county here in Bexar County. It was just stupid.
Yeah.
Just pulling stupid shit. And I can't say that I'm I might still pull stupid shit today.
Well,
it depends on who gets under my skin quick enough.
Yeah, no, I got you. We can all make mistakes, but it looks like you've really picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and you went to you started University of Colorado.
I started University of Colorado. Yeah, I did a semester there, and it's funny that I got into this really bad car wreck. I didn't have any insurance. Again, and I was just like, this was right after high school and before I'd started college, and I was bartending at all these different places. Of course, great job to pick after my mom passes away, and I'm already kind of I'm gonna become a bartender. Just surround myself with more booze and more drugs and more fucking shady characters.
Not the best idea.
Nah, but I was making good money, And but I didn't have any, you know, I was making good money and yet I wasn't paying my car insurance. And I got into this wreck, and my car was totaled, and I was just sitting there looking at it, and I was like, I need to get.
Yeah.
But then I started, you know, it's like, you know, you're stepping outside of yourself and you're looking at the world around you, and it's like I need to get out of what I'm doing, but I need to just go away, like and not just like Austin. I need to cross a state line.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the
Yeah.
only thought I had was I need to get across a state line.
Yeah.
So that I can't be affected by this world that's just been kind of dragging me down into it, or I've been diving into it, or however you want to call it. And so I chose the University of Colorado Boulder, and I went there for a year, and then I ended up coming back here, and I went to I finished up at Incarnate Word. They had a theater department.
Yeah.
And so I double majored in theater and English.
Got your master's.
Yeah, and then I went and got my master's at UC San Diego from their professional actor training program. Graduated in 2000. Moved to LA, and within 6 weeks I was starting to book work.
Huh. Now, from what I understand, University of Colorado, you were placed in the advanced acting class by accident? Is that right?
Boy, you do your research. I like this.
That's right.
Yeah, there was oh God, what was his name? It was either David or Mark Reifsnyder. I still remember his last name, Reifsnyder. And he had,
hard one to remember.
I know, he had this reddish hair
Yeah.
and this beard, and he was the acting teacher. And so I signed up for the acting class. I wanted to, it was my first semester in college, and I wanted to take it easy. 12 hours, just some easy stuff.
Yeah.
English, acting, economics, bad choice. And I can't remember what else. So I go into the acting class, and he starts talking, and he's like, you know, now his majors within this department. I'm going like, whoa, wait. Like, oh shit, this is, and I look down at my class schedule, and it says Intro to Acting Majors. And so I go through the whole class, and at the end of the class, I go up to him like, hey, Mr. Reifsnyder, you know, I think I'm in the wrong class, man. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is for majors. I'm not intending on being a major. And he's like, yeah, you could just stay. I'm like, yeah, no, but he goes, look, you're one of 3 guys in the class. He goes, and you're probably one of the better actors from what I'm judging as of today. He goes, you're staying in the class. Got it? And I was like, okay.
Well, there you go.
And it was great because I personally think that if I hadn't stayed in that class with him, you know, I wouldn't have gotten, I guess, as deep of a concentration on that intro to acting,
Yeah.
and then kind of been reinvigorated to pursue acting.
And was
You know?
that the beginning of you wanting to become an actor, or did it come before that?
I had done some acting in high school, but you know, a friend of mine got me into it. My friend Ian Troop, who passed away the year after I got out of high school. He and I got out of high school, so he and my mom died within close proximity to each other. For me, I got into it because I dropped out of all my sports and everything. After my mom passed away, you know, I was playing baseball and I was doing some other stuff, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Because she was the one that always went to my games. And so Ian told me, you know, I still needed some electives, and he's like, you know, come on into the acting class. So, you know, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he's like, dude, there's chicks. I'm like, yeah, but you know, I've seen them. They're not that good looking. He's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, but they're easy. And I was like, okay, well, that's a winner.
Sign me up. Okay.
And of course, that never happened. But I ended up doing some acting, and that's how I kind of really got into it.
Yeah.
And it became kind of like a cathartic way for me to let go of some emotions that I was holding about my mom's death. But I got reinvigorated with it when I went to Colorado and I took these classes with Reifsnyder, and he really kind of pushed me into like doing material that I thought I wasn't right for.
Yeah.
You know, and taking on a larger part that I didn't feel like I could handle. And it was just ever so slightly. And then when I got to Incarnate Word, that's when things really started to take off for me in terms of acting, and really starting to want to pursue it, and thinking that maybe I could actually make a career out of this.
Yeah. Well, it does seem like a great escape when you've got a lot of emotional baggage where you can put yourself into another character, just
it
be
is
somebody else for a minute.
It is, but at the same time, you can also do a number on yourself and create even more emotional baggage for yourself. Yeah, if you go too hard with something, or if you start trying to get too methody, and try and be, well, if the character's experience and I have to experience, it's like, whoa, wait a second.
Heath Ledger, huh?
Yeah. And some guys go too far.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that I'll do. I'll try and get try a method and try and experience what that is, but I take it to a certain limit and then I leave it alone, and then I have to play the magical what if game from Stanislavski, so and I don't mind doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were getting into trouble, your dad wasn't in exactly the best position, I suppose, to have a son going off being a knucklehead, huh?
Yeah, my father, I was, all this stuff was going on, and I was wreaking havoc. And my father at the time was working in the DA's office.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. I've talked to him about this since then. And I'm like, what was it about me? What were you most concerned about with me? Or what was it that was affecting you the most about what I was doing? I said, I know that you weren't happy about the decisions I was making, the path I was going down, but what was it that was worrying you the most?
Yeah.
And he said, he goes, what worried me the most, he goes, was that at a certain point, I could no longer physically stop you.
Yeah.
He goes, and that's scary. He goes, he goes, you are a very big guy. He goes, you're very animated, and when you get very passionate about things, and your convictions get the better of you, he goes, I feel that it's very impossible for just about anybody to stop you. Yeah. And I know that I have that, and that's something that's taken a lot of time for me to control.
Kind of hone in on, and
and I'm not always. I'm a guy's guy. I'm a loud guy. I used to be a raising hell and drinking beer and getting in trouble and all that crap. And
I feel you.
Thank God for my daughter is all I gotta say.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
All right, this interview was so good and it went so long that we're gonna have to break it up into 2 episodes. So make sure you join us next time for the continuation of our interview with Ricardo Chavira. He's an interesting dude. Stay tuned.
Do you have something to market or promote? Smith Print is a local, family-owned and operated printing press in the downtown San Antonio area. You can reach them at 210-876-1555 or smithprint.net. Let's make it happen with Smith Print.
Today's local track is really something special. It's from about 2004, and this is a Texas classic that I can pretty much guarantee you've never heard. Matter of fact, it's not available anywhere. This is some real exclusive Missions podcast music. This track is called Deep in the Heart of Texas, and this is by BU, J Mall, and Mad One. Enjoy.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of St. Town, where my dogs is
is restless, never sleep. Can't you see my squad's aggressive? Can't keep us from our successes. You can find me deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see that God is blessed us? I'ma speak and make them all respect us. You can find me out grinding wherever I roam. I reside northeast side, San Antonio, but I ride all over my city. I'm well known. Wherever I lay my hat is my home. I was born in the northeast, raised as a child, living foul. My mama moved me way down south. Now I'm a grown man, got my own damn style. Hands up, wanna say town's finest, hands down. Been the clown for the east side, where G's ride dirty. Be servicing the streets, getting cheese bright and early. In my west side, homies who got cousins in the valley that be blowing the best vibe. Whenever they get at me, you can catch me on the south side. It's downright gritty. Run a fake clown right out my city. And the thugs show me nothing but love up on the north side. Plus I got fly shorties on all four sides. I'm deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see my squad's aggressive? Can't keep us from our successes. You can find me deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see that God is blessed us? I'ma speak and make them all respect us. You can find me.
Hardly never, it's like I live in the boondocks. You're better off trying to catch me on your boombox, thoroughly demonstrating how my platoon rocks. Cause ever since 9-6 I've had a few spots, yet I still rep the city as one. North, south, east, west, wherever you're from. And you can find me mostly out in the burbs with my homie Boo, plus I'm out in the urban. If you only knew how they praise and holler from here the days of Allah, that we blazing hotter than days in Nevada, you'd understand that the product we supply is demanded. Couldn't have worked out better if we planned it. Now expanding all across the globe, from Saytown to Singapore, back to a humble abode. It's them boys that got it under control. For 2004, strike force and we ready to roll. Yeah.
Deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see my squad's aggressive? Can't keep us from our successes. You can find me deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see that God is blessed us? I'ma speak and make them all respect us. You can find me.
Keeping my cool and my weapons reserved. Letting it loose a nigga stressing my nerves. Two ghetto blocks on your stretch of the birds. Whatever block name, repping your curve. Pressing my buttons, leave you next to get burned. I'm the king of the calico and stay repping this Alamo. My weapons mechanical, fill your jacket with flannel holes. Oh, you don't say. My slugs are chrome plate. While you kick at the front, we blast the doorway. Strapped with wordplay, number 1 and 3rd place. Your girl on my dick and slobber at first taste. Shit's deep in the heart of Texas. Leave you lost in necklace when we off your necklace. Let's creep. Bang these bras for breakfast. Hope you got protection, cause I got directions. They freaks. Love the opposite sexes when they drop they dresses. All aboard the Texas.
We deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see my squad's aggressive? Can't keep us from our successes. You can find me deep in the heart of Texas, the streets of Saytown, where my dogs is restless, never sleep. Can't you see that God is blessed us? I'ma speak and make them all respect us. You can find me